You ever asked yourself what crops and other plants require in order to grow well? Then here we look at one requirement, and these are manures. So manures are also called organic fertilizers. They are simply natural fertilizers. They add nutrients to the soil, and they include green manure, farmyard manure, compost manure, and organic mulches. Now we shall look at each at a time. Let's look at green manure. Now they are made from plants which are grown and plowed into the soil while still green. There are a few steps that are followed in making green manure, and they include 1. Growing the crops, and then cutting down the crops before they flower, then chopping the plants into small pieces and plowing the pieces of crops into the soil. Now after plowing into the soil, the plants are also to rot or decompose for about 2 weeks before crops are planted. The crops used in making green manure have the following characteristics. Number 1, they should be quick in their growth rate. They should be able to produce a lot of leaves, so they should be leafy. They should be able to rot quickly, and they should contain high nitrogen content. So for that purpose, leguminous plants are the best crops for making green manure because they use nitrogen to make proteins. These include cowpeas, sunflower, beans, groundnuts, green grams, and lucerne, not forgetting clover and desmodium. Now other good crops are maize, napier grass, and sorghum. Let's look at farmyard manure. Now this is also called animal manure. It is made up of animal dung, urine, and beddings. It should not be exposed to direct sunlight and rain so that it does not lose nutrients. It should be allowed to decompose fully before it is used in the soil. Partially decomposed farmyard manure will scorch or burn the crops or plants. Let's discuss compost manure. Now this is a mixture of organic materials such as animal waste, decayed plants, kitchen refuse, peelings, and vegetable leaves. The materials are arranged in a heap or a pit to decompose and become manure. Raised heaps are recommended for wet areas to avoid waterlogging. The materials are decomposed by the action of bacteria. For quick decomposition, the compost heap should be 1. Should be moist but not wet. Water should be sprinkled and not poured into the heap. The compost should also be covered during the wet season to avoid wetness. Farmyard manure should also be added in topsoil to increase bacterial activity. It should also be turned occasionally to allow air circulation, and a layer of ashes should be added to increase the nutrients content of the manure. The heap should be arranged according to the order as shown. We have maize stalks arranged at the bottom, followed by green leaves, grass, and kitchen refuse, followed by farmyard manure and crop remains, then ashes, then we have topsoil, and lastly dry leaves at the top. Finally, let's look at mulches. Now, the dry grass and leaves that are spread around the base of crops is called mulch. They may not be made specifically as manures, but as they rot, they form a type of manure. Now, mulches play a big role. Number one, they conserve water in the soil by preventing evaporation. They also control weeds by denying them sunlight. They prevent splash erosion, and they also make organic manure when they are allowed to decay or when they rot. Now we have the importance of organic manures. Number one, all organic manures are important, that they improve the water holding capacity or water retention of the soil. They also allow circulation of air in the soil, so they improve soil aeration. They bind the soil particles and make clay soil less sticky. They also improve the soil structure. They enrich the soil with nutrients and improve its fertility. They also increase organic matter, what we call humus, in the soil. And lastly, they release nutrients slowly into the soil. So by so doing, nutrients can be available in the soil for quite some time. So that's all about organic manures, or simply manures. Thank you for watching.